If you're not a Disney fanatic, a friend of yours is. It's enchanting. It lets us be kids again. It lets our imagination flow. And it puts us in the best mood ever. This is Coffee at the Kingdom. Pour yourself a cup of your favorite hot or iced beverage, and let's dive into the enchanting world of Disney. From the latest park updates to hidden gems at Disney Springs, we'll cover it all. Danielle Knoll is a former cast member turned avid Disney enthusiast. She's got the inside scoop on everything from the parks to the silver screen. With Danielle's firsthand experience working at both the Disney Store and Epcot, along with her frequent visits to the Walt Disney World Resort and Disney Cruises, you're in for a treat. Get ready for a fun and whimsical journey through all things Disney. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a newcomer to the magic, there's something for everybody. Welcome to Coffee at the Kingdom, where the magic never ends and every sip is a sprinkle of pixie dust. Now, here's Danielle.
Hello, and welcome to the Coffee at the Kingdom podcast. I'm your host, your ghost host, Danielle, and today I want to talk a little bit about what to expect if you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World in 2025, the Disney Movie Club and how it's shutting down, as well as an epic Mickey remake heading to the Nintendo Switch, and a little bit about Disney Dreamlight Valley. But first, time to go over some of your responses to the last question of the day, which was, if you've been on the Wish, which rotational dining restaurant was your favorite? And if you haven't been on it, which are you excited to try? So some of the responses received were from Joanna. She said Worlds of Marvel. She said even though she's not a Marvel fan, it was just the coolest, most interesting restaurant. We also have Michelle who said Worlds of Marvel too. And I have to agree, the restaurant was just really cool and it's a neat concept. So thank you so much for those responses. Okay, time to jump right into the news that broke about 2 weeks ago about important info for your 2025 trip to Disney. If you're not already on it, you can book your stays and purchase theme park tickets already. This actually started February 27th. So, if you're planning your trip and want to book your stays and purchase tickets and haven't already done so, feel free to do so while listening to this podcast. Another huge thing, at least I think so, is that all Disney Resort Hotel guests will get complimentary access to either of the water parks, Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach, on the day of your check-in. How cool is that? Perfect for those summertime check-ins. Another perk, early theme park entry for all Disney Resort Hotel guests will continue through 2025, and extended evening hours for those staying at Disney Deluxe/Villa resorts will also continue through 2025. Lastly, Disney has changed their cancellation policy for 2025 hotel stays. Previously, you could cancel room-only reservations up to 5 days before arrival without a penalty. Beginning in 2025, the cancellation window will be changed to up to 8 days before arrival. If you cancel less than 8 days, you forfeit your deposit, which is the cost of one night. The cancellation policy for vacation packages that include hotel rooms and park tickets has not changed. Guests can cancel the entire package up to 30 days before their arrival date for a full refund. You can cancel from 2 to 29 days, but will be charged a $200 fee, and canceling the day before or the day of will mean you forfeit the entire package cost. Now, for the also somewhat older news of Disney Movie Club shutting down. Oh, you didn't hear about that? Yes, it's true. Getting your hands on a physical copy of Disney Classics is about to be a lot harder. On February 20th, Disney announced that after 23 years, it will shut down the DMC later this year. For those of you who have never heard of Disney Movie Club or DMC, it was basically a subscription service for diehard fans to obtain DVDs and Blu-rays of Disney media. Members would receive monthly releases, but the real benefit of the Disney Movie Club was the ability to obtain mostly forgotten classics that are really hard to get a hold of. New members who signed up for a 2-year contract would get their first 4 titles for $1, under the condition that they purchased at least 5 other films at full price for the remainder of their contract. While priced a bit higher than physical retail stores or Amazon, the size of the library was unmatched. This decision to shut down comes on the heels of a deal Disney made with Sony, which sees Sony taking over the production of physical media on behalf of Disney. It is unknown whether Sony will offer a similar service to Disney Movie Club. While the shutdown is reported to happen in July of this year, current members have until May 20th to place any remaining orders. So if you're a collector of Disney media or are just into physical media and ownership of it, better act fast. By now, we've all at least heard of Disney Plus, which launched in November 2019, and it was supposed to hold the promise that the DMC once held. However, you don't own titles on Disney Plus. The TV shows and movies can be taken off whenever Disney decides to do so. And despite its status as Disney's digital vault, there is still a number of titles missing that are only available in physical capacity through Disney Movie Club. I guess I'm not too surprised at the announcement. I mean, I'm not a member of the Disney Movie Club. Although I remember receiving mail about it, I always enjoyed the stickers they sent. Use of physical media has been on a steady decline for quite some time now, with the availability of streaming services and digital rentals and purchases. So, before I move on, I want to ask you the question of the day, which is a two-parter. Have you heard of the Disney Movie Club? And are you subscribed to Disney Plus? Let me know on Facebook or Instagram, and you may hear your responses on the next episode. Now to something a bit more fun and not so depressing. The wonderful Epic Mickey is being remade for later this year on Nintendo Switch and will be called Epic Mickey Rebrushed. What was promised during the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase was that it would be a faithful remake of the beloved classic. The synopsis reads, and I quote, "Join Mickey Mouse on a colorful adventure as he traverses Wasteland, a world inspired by Disney classic stories. Play the 2010 classic along with a variety of upgrades in this enhanced remake of the action-adventure 3D platformer originally released on the Wii console. Along with updated graphics and other improvements, Mickey Mouse's abilities have been improved with a whole new set of skills and more. For fans of the original and new fans alike, get ready for an adventure of truly epic proportions." I remember playing the game with my brother way back when. It was a fun game, although I don't think I ever beat it. The premise of Epic Mickey was essentially, Mickey Mouse gets into a little bit of trouble after sneaking into Yen Sid's workshop. He accidentally creates the Shadow Blot. Trying to erase it, Mickey gets sucked into a world that's full of rejected Disney characters. In the remake, players will encounter characters like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Yen Sid, Pete, and more. I actually have a Nintendo Switch, and so I'm definitely going to be picking up this game. Speaking of the Switch and games, do you all play Disney's Dreamlight Valley? I guess that's like a second question of the day, but you don't have to actually respond to that one, unless you want to. I actually got it back when it was in its pre-order phase, and there were some times where it unexpectedly quit on me or stopped working. It's super fun though, and I guess now there's an expansion for it called A Rift in Time, and you can also update the game to get Jack Skellington and decorate with items from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I haven't played it in a little while, so I'm not too hip on all the updates and changes to the game. I definitely need to get back into it. I hear there are certain characters that are just frustrating to be around. I'll be interested to see who else I'll meet and what I'll think of them. Alright, well that about does it for me for today's episode. I decided to keep this one relatively short. Hopefully you got some good information out of it. If you stuck around till now, thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this talk about some news from Disney. If you aren't already, go ahead and give me a follow over on Instagram at Disney_dreaming_71 and Facebook at Coffee at the Kingdom Podcast. Tune into the next episode where I talk about the somewhat confusing Genie Plus, Lightning Lanes, and theme park reservations. If you loved this episode, go ahead and leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to this podcast and share it with other Disney lovers in your life. Alright everyone, as Tigger would say, ta-ta for now.